Hello, welcome to your online math course. I want to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Kuchma. I will be your teacher. And I wanted to create this video just to introduce you to the online atmosphere. I'm going to go over everything that you need to know so that the start of your journey is a good one. And I will be your guide on this journey, so I want to be here to help you as best as I can. And you've come to the right place. You're watching the course intro video. Way to go. My contact information is going to be below. You can send me an email. I respond to emails within a business day, so I try to give you really quick feedback. And I also have my Skype hours posted there, so you can come and see me on Skype, and I can get you started. You can send me a message. All that information is below. But getting started is great. By watching this video, you're going to know exactly what you need to do to get started. So that's going to be amazing. And what's awesome is that all of our online courses, especially in the math department, are very, very similar. So once you learn how to go through my math online course, you're going to know how to go through all of our online math courses if you do find yourself taking another one. So without further ado, let's get started.
All right, so welcome to Workplace Math 11 online. This is going to be the course intro video to how to get started. And right off the bat, you can see at the top there is all of my contact information. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can send me an email. I try to respond to emails by the end of the next business day so that you get really quick feedback moving forward. My Skype ID is there. You're going to need to add me as a contact because there is a mandatory introductory Skype meeting. And these are my Skype hours. As you'll note, these are my summer Skype hours because I'm recording this in the summer. But my updated Skype hours will always be here. And my hours are first come, first serve. I don't set aside appointments for students. All you do is you add me on Skype, and then you send me a message during my Skype hours. Please refrain from calling me just because I might be in another call with a student. So sometimes I have to add you to my Skype lineup, and then I'll message you when I'm free. As you can see right down here, this is the introductory Skype meeting that you do need to complete. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you. In addition to the introductory Skype meeting, you can also come and see me for help. If you get stuck on an assignment question, on a practice question, whatever it might be that you're stuck, I want to help, but I won't know that you need help unless you do reach out. So please come and see me. Let's figure it out together. If my Skype hours don't work for you the day that you need help, let's say my Skype hours, aren't until the next day, you can come over here on the right side and you can see some math TAs that we have available to help students with their math. So they function the exact same way as I do. You add them on Skype, you message them, don't call, during their Skype hours. Their Skype hours are set up in 2-hour segments, and they can also help you with your math homework. So it's really great, fantastic tool. Their hours are different from mine. So you're able to, either come and see me or them to get math help really quickly. We don't want you getting stuck. We want you to gain momentum and get to the end of the course. The next item on the docket here is just a how-to in StudyForge. There's a really quick lesson. StudyForge is where you're going to do all of the lessons in the course, and I'm actually going to give you a personal tour as well. Next up is the formula sheet. Please print this off. You can use this for all of your assignments and all of your tests in the course. As you can see here, there's some formulas that are going to be very useful, and there's also the personal loan calculator, and you're going to want to have that handy for the finance chapter. Underneath all that is some course info. So number one is the policies and procedures. Please give that a read through. There's lots of things just about the course and how everything's weighted and how everything's set up. So, right here you can see that your assignments and note packages are both worth 10% each. Your chapter assessments are worth 35%. You've got 50% for your projects and then 30% minimum for your final exam, which you'll see later in the policy and procedures there. Now, there's also the final exam, and the final exam is a big deal. It's the very end of the course. It's how you finish. There are 2 ways of doing it based on what kind of student you are. When you enrolled, you're going to know that you're either a BCO student or an HCO student. So a British Columbia online student or a Heritage Christian Online School student. And if you are a BCO student, these are the final exam end dates for you. You're going to need to set up a self-pacing guide, which we will do in our Skype meeting, to end at one of these dates. So you're going to think, when do I plan on starting this course? When do I plan on finishing it? This final exam will be the finish date. So let's say you're starting in September, and then you're going to finish for the January 11th final exam. You're going to make sure that you hand in your assignments well ahead of time so that they get marked, as well as all your tests ahead of time, so that you get feedback for all of your work before submitting it. And that goes for HCO students as well. If you're planning to write the final exam soon, you need to get your work done. So if you go to the very bottom of the course, there's just a little blurb. Yay, you made it to the end. And for HCO students, please just email me directly about the final exam, and we'll also talk a little bit more about that again in the Skype meeting. So if I scroll up, for BCO students, I just want to let you know that you can actually register and sign up for the final exam here at this link. And the registration opens 3 weeks prior to the exam, and it closes 1 week before the final exam. We have a final exam coordinator who does all of our amazing coordination. At the very bottom, you'll see that that's Tony Lyons. So, next up is just help with getting started. Lots of times, this may be your first online course. Some of you may be veterans, but for those of you who are new, there's often a lot of the same problems that students run into. Number one is you might have a printer, you're going to need a printer for the course, but a printer that does not scan. And if your printer does not scan, you're going to need to scan it somehow, and I strongly recommend an app called Cam Scanner. So if you watch this video, it's a quick how-to on how to use the app, and it's amazing. I use it for everything. And you also may find that once you've scanned a document and you want to go and submit it so that I can mark it, it's too big, and you can't even submit it. It says, sorry, the size maximum is 5 megabytes. And if you run into that, you can actually just easily compress your video by going to smallpdf.com and choosing the compression. I'm just going to actually show you. So if I go here, and I go here to small PDF, and you go compress, you can just drag and drop a file right into here, and it'll compress it down in size, and then you'll be able to submit it. So those are the main things there with some help videos, and now here is chapter 1. So we need to go over the 4 parts of the course. Number 1 is the lessons, where you're going to learn the content in the course, and the second one is the assignment mastery. We want to see that you're actually learning the content and you can apply it. And then the test, the chapter assessment, that is where you are assessed for the course content. The last part, the 4th part, is projects. And the projects are there designed so that you can sort of see how this course content is actually in the real world. So it's showing you, you know what, you're learning this math content. It's not just, you know, to learn Math 11. You know, some of this math is actually going to be very important in everyday life. So let's get started with how lessons work. In chapter 1, there are 4 lessons that you're going to complete. Then you'll submit your note package. You'll see the assignment is here. Then you submit that, and there's the test. So if I go into lesson 1, it's going to log us into StudyForge. And so this is where I'm going to do a little quick tutorial on how to use it. This is a little reminder to print off your notes. So if you want to print off your notes, up here on this button, when you click it, it's going to let you print off your notes. But the default is only to print off 1 lesson. And you're going to want to choose all 4 lessons. So we're going to print off the entire batch. Then you go to print preview, and then you're going to hit this print button, and then you're going to see that all of the content is there for you to print off. You'll note that there's lots of fill in the blanks and things missing, and as you watch the course videos, which I'll show you next, they're going to have the fill in the blanks for this note package. So completing this note package is the first part to a lesson, and if I cancel out of this, There we go. I'm going to scroll down, and here is your first video. So as you watch the first video, I'm just going to mute it here, but it's going to show you some of the content. This is where you're going to learn it. Please do not do this. Please do not skip through. But as you can see, once you get to the end of the video, it kind of shown you a couple of different things. You can navigate to the next video on this left side and choose the gray one that's next. And you can look at solving for unknowns and fractions. Once you've completed this video, I'll do it again. We're going to go to the third video, review of proportions, and then lastly, another proportion example. So going through these 4 videos, you're going to be able to fill out all the notes for lesson 1. And you've learned a couple different things, so now you can scroll down and you can try some practice questions. This is the third part. So to review, number 1 was just printing off the notes and completing those as you watch. Number 2, the videos. And number 3, practice questions are here to help you get practice with the actual content. So you can see there's 21 practice questions in chapter 1. You do not need to do them all. You need to do 5. Any 5 will do. I do recommend not just choosing the first 5 because sometimes they're all very similar. Instead, I would choose like a column if possible. Maybe do 2, 5, 8, 11, and 14, and try going through them. You can complete these one of 2 ways. If you're old school and you just like working with pencil and paper, that is an option. You can just choose lesson 1, and you can go, I'm going to start with, let's see, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2, and you can write this down, and you just need to make sure that you scan this into me at the end so that I know that you completed them. But that is option number 1. Option number 2 is obviously just to do them online. So if you do them online, you can take a look here, and it says, it tells you all these different, these questions, and then you'll put your answer over here on the side. Answer. Likewise, you could also just use your keyboard and show answer, and then you can check to see whether or not you get the question right or wrong by clicking on show the answer. And if you got it right, way to go. If you got the question wrong, don't fret. You do not get graded for practice questions. I'm just looking to see that you completed them. Did you show your work, and did you do it? Whether or not you get the right or wrong answer, that is not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking to see that you're actually engaging with the course and that you're learning. So if you do make a mistake, hey, that's all right. Maybe learn from that mistake so you don't make it again on the assignment or on the test. However, sometimes you want to know why you made the mistake. So on this right-hand side, there's the orange solution button. You're going to click that, and it's going to show you each step in order to get the right answer. And you're going to be able to see how they were able to get the final answer of 10 inches. So if you have never used this before, here it is. Hopefully the practice question ended up being a really good resource for you in studying and learning the concepts. So once you've completed the 5 practice questions, you can navigate between your lessons up here. So we've just completed lesson 1. Now we can go and choose lesson 2. And what's great about this page is that you're able to navigate all throughout the course. So you can also just navigate through the entire course and look at anything that you'd like. As you can see, there's some projects, and there's also the chapters. Now I'm going to navigate back to the course page. I'm going to show you how to submit your work. So once you have finished the first 4 lessons, you've completed 5 practice questions from each, which should total to 20 practice questions. Now you're ready to submit your work. So you're going to have your note package, and this is where you submit it. Please note, like I mentioned, there's 3 things that I'm looking for. Did you complete the note package? That's worth 4 marks. And then, did you do the practice questions and show your work? That's 3 marks. And then, did you watch the videos? That's another 3 marks. I want to see that you're at least watching 75%, but I'm definitely looking to see that you've watched them all. If you're skipping through the videos, you won't get full marks. So, note packages are worth a total of 10 marks, and you make your submission here. You're able to just drag and drop your note package, And this is definitely one of the submissions where, because sometimes they can be very large, where you're going to run into the issue that you have to compress your PDF. It's going to say, sorry, this is too big, and you can go watch that help video on how to compress PDFs, and you can go to smallpdf.com, and they'll be able to help you. So, going back to the course page, the next section is the assignment. So now you've learned the content, you're ready to try it out. So if you click on the assignment, you're going to be printing this off, completing it, and submitting it once it's done. Assignments are pass or fail until you pass. So they're guaranteed marks. It's a nice little buffer to your grade. And what's great is that if you don't figure it out the first time, you can resubmit it and try it a second time. And then a third time if needed. How we know whether or not you need to make corrections is based on your achievement goal. So I really strongly recommend to indicate what you're trying to get in this course. Some students are just trying to pass this course, they need it to graduate, that's it. Some students want to be an A+, they want to get like 95 or more in the course, and some students are just very happy with a B right in the middle. So by indicating to us what you're trying to get in the course, that's how you're going to be marked. So if you're trying to get a B and you make a couple mistakes on your assignment, but overall you still did pretty good, you're fine. We're going to mark that you're good to go and you can move on and you can try the test. However, if you're trying to get a B in the course and you only get half the questions right, you're going to need to do some corrections. We're going to tell you which ones need to get worked on, and then you're going to have to resubmit this with the corrections a second time. So you can submit them, if I go back, right here into the handing box, and you add your submission, and we're going to grade it and we'll give you feedback, and if you pass and we're good to go, awesome, you get 100%. If you don't, you're going to get 0%, but don't worry, you get to resubmit that afterwards. So if you get a 0%, it's not that you actually got 0% on the assignment, it just means you need to do corrections and you need to submit them back before moving forward. Once you have completed the assignment, you're good to go and you're ready to do the test, then this will open up. As you can see, it does say restricted because you need to get a good mark on your assignment, and then you also need to complete your introductory Skype meeting, so you cannot do a test until you met with me on Skype. The test is online, it's multiple choice questions, but you also need to show your work. It's very important to show your work, and I'll show you why. So this test has 20 questions, and each one's worth 2 marks for a total of 40. So let's say you're doing a question and you choose the wrong one under the multiple choice. Well, that's okay. If you've shown me some of the work on the written work, you can still get part marks. Why did you choose that one? Show me your steps. And if some of them are correct, you might get 1 out of 2, you might get 1.5 out of 2, or you might just get even just a half mark out of 2. But at least if you've shown me something, then I know the steps that you're taking and whether or not they were correct. So do not leave them blank. If you do leave a question blank, unfortunately I have to give you a 0 because I'm just going to assume that you guessed on the multiple choice and you got it right. So if there's nothing shown, you will get 0 on your written work. But that is basically everything in the course. That is what it looks like. There are 4 units to this. There's chapter 1, 3D objects, rate of change, there's probability, there's statistics, and there's finances. At the very end is the final exam, as well as a course evaluation form. You can let me know how it went. I'm really hoping that you have a great time in the course. And the last thing that I need to tell you about is the project. So you'll see that there's a manipulating sports statistics, there is a going for the prize project, and there is a common misconceptions project. So if you go into the project, you're going to see it's also built right into StudyForge, and it's going to have all the different steps to it. So at the very beginning, you're going to have to do some readings, and you'll see there's a PR thing here, and that stands for project, and it has the tag common misconceptions. So you'll be able to navigate through here. You can look at the questions that you may have, and hopefully we answer them. There's an intro to projects video and a viewing and submitting your project work that you can watch. And then you can find out exactly how you're graded. This is the rubric that you're going to be graded on when you complete it. It's going to be for a total of 40. And currently there are 3 projects on the course, and we can talk about those during the Skype meeting. But as you go through, there's going to be certain things that you'll complete, similar to a practice question that you've seen before, where you're going to have a question here, and then you can insert your answer for A, your answer for B, and your answer for C. Again, likewise, if you are old school and you are like, no, I want to work with pen and pencil, paper and pencil, that's okay. You can do your project on paper. You just need to make sure that you send this all to me so that I can mark it. So, those are the different sections to the course. You've got the lessons, you've got the assignment, you've got the tests, and you've got the projects. So as you go throughout the course, you may need help, come and get it, but I'll be waiting here at the finish line when you get here, and I really hope that you have an awesome time in the course. Best of luck, and take care.